Guys, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. Today we are going to discuss about how did Sri Lanka beat England to win their fourth Test match in English soil, and they are 2 out of 2, 100% record in the Kennington Oval in London. How did Sri Lanka manage to overturn this Test match, which was so much in favor of England? Let me tell you guys, in the first innings, on the first day, England were going hard at run rate of 5 runs per over. They were 221 for three. You had an explosive knock from the opener Ben Duckett, and then you had Ollie Pope scoring almost a run a ball 150. And how did Sri Lanka manage to overturn this? There were reviews that were not going in favor of Sri Lanka. Then there were dropped catches by Asitha Fernando, so many things going against, so many cut shots that were just going through the gaps, needling the gap between the slips, and everything just was going against Sri Lanka from ball one, day one. Everything was just against Sri Lanka. And their main bowler, the main strike bowler, Asitha Fernando, who has taken 17 wickets throughout the series, just took 3 wickets in this test match out of the 20 wickets taken by Sri Lanka. So what happened and what transpired? So first, coming to the team changes, Sri Lanka made a brave call here. They decided to go with an all-out pace attack, and there was one part-time spinner in Dhananjaya De Silva. They dropped Prabhat Jayasuriya, who they were considering as their main weapon for this series, and they picked an all-out pace attack with Lahiru Kumara, the gas man, coming back, and he was obviously there in the second test also. But Vishwa Fernando also, who was dropped in the second test because of his poor show in first test match. And even Sanath Jayasuriya said that this is how we want Vishwa Fernando to bowl. Even Akib Javed compared Vishwa Fernando to Chaminda Vaz, the way he bowled those in swingers. But I think we are all going to praise Lahiru Kumara for his bowling, but I think Vishwa Fernando was so critical and removed the dependency that Sri Lankan bowling attack had on Asitha Fernando for this test match. So starting from day one, I mean, if you look at what Sri Lanka were doing right, is they were bowling length. They were trying to entice the English batsmen to get out. And you can see the wicket of Ben Duckett. He's already played a lap shot, the ramp shot, and he's just trying to play another ramp shot again. And this time he fails. Then you have Ollie Pope, who is again going for a shot. Chris Wokes is going for a shot, enticed by Dhananjay De Silva's flighted delivery. Gus Atkinson, the man who scored the 100 in the second test match, is going for a big heave, and he gets out going for a big shot. So there are a lot of players in English team who, when they thought they are 250 for 3, they could just get easy runs without even trying to apply themselves. England were, a lot of people will say that England were bored of winning or tired of winning, or they were too casual because they were playing Josh Hull and Ollie Stone in this test match. But England, sorry, there is no excuse. You needed a clean sweep of this series to qualify for WTC finals, and you failed to do that. So I'm sorry, England, but you can't be that casual when you're so much behind in the WTC points table. You're trying to get to the finals. You have made all the buzz about Bazball and whatnot, but you're not in the game with those selections. And Sri Lanka rightly has hammered England. They have just hammered England by 8 wickets at the Oval. And this has been an incredible turnaround story, even for Sri Lanka, who were on the first day, like I said, they were 230 for 3. England were 230 for 3. And by the end of second day, I think around lunchtime, Sri Lanka were 93 for 5. And after that, what Dhananjaya De Silva and Kamindu Mendis have done was incredible. I would especially like to mention Kamindu Mendis because it was his catch of Harry Brook that also changed the momentum during the England innings and triggered a collapse of English batting. But what really matters is Kamindu Mendis at number 6 and 7. He has scored 267 runs in this series at the average of 53. He was averaging above 100 when he came to the English shores, and he has managed to leave the English shores with his average not dropping below 50. That's an incredible achievement. Hats off to Kamindu Mendes. I just love this player. the way he plays with the control, the technical adjustments he made through the series to ensure that he doesn't get out slashing the ball outside off stump. He's been playing with impeccable grit throughout the test series, and even in the second test, he was incredible. I think if not for everyone, at least Sri Lanka deserved to win this test match for Kamindu Mendis' efforts, because he has been just amazing, brilliant, and he's one of the Fab Four for the future. When a future Fab Four list will be made, I'm not sure who all going to be a part of it, but I'm quite sure that Kamindu Mendis will be part of it. He's been just incredible. Then next coming to Dhananjaya De Silva. Dhananjaya De Silva was amazing. I mean, throughout this test series, even in the first test, he fought back for the Sri Lankans and almost brought Sri Lanka level with England. So along with Kamindu Mendis, who's averaging 77 in Test cricket, he has been the cornerstone of Sri Lanka batting. Even in that series which they lost to Pakistan at home, and they must be regretting losing to Pakistan at home now, because they had a really golden chance now to make the WTC finals. They have New Zealand at home, they have Australia at home, so they have two big nations at home, and they have West Indies away, which they should win ideally. So Sri Lanka must be now really banging their head for losing those two test matches to Pakistan at home. But coming to Dhananjaya De Silva, it was such a chanceless partnership between Dhananjaya and Kamindu Mendis. They took Sri Lanka to safe waters and made sure that the lead was only 62 runs. And hats off again, these two brilliant batsmen. I wish they could have batted up the order, because Sri Lanka's top middle order has been frail until Nissanka came. They were very fragile. Special credit to Nissanka. I just want to show you a list, and you'll understand what Nissanka has done now. So this is a list of people who have scored 50s in both innings of test matches at 100 plus strike rate, and you can see the list. And it has never happened in England before Pathum Nissanka did it. So you have Mark Redbatch, Nathan Hassel, Tilak Ratne, Dilshan, Zimbabwe, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Chris Gayle in West Indies, Jermaine Blackwood in West Indies, David Warner in Sydney at his home ground, Zach Crawley in Rawalpindi, the flattest pitch on earth, Harry Brook in Mount Maunganui, again a very flat pitch. But Pathum Nissanka probably did it on the toughest pitch, and even Sanath Jayasuriya, while comparing this win with the 1998 win, where Muralitharan took 16 wickets in the match, and uh, Arvinder De Silva scored 100. Sanath Jayasuriya himself scored a double 100. He said that these boys have done it in the tougher conditions. They have done it in much tougher conditions, and they deserve all the credit for that. And Pathum Nissanka playing those 250s at higher than 100 plus strike rate is amazing. And what Kamindu Mendis and Dhananjaya De Silva did in the first innings, that was just amazing in tough conditions. Yeah, understandably a weaker bowling lineup by England, Ollie Stone and Josh Hull playing, but it's again England's mistake. If they didn't take this test match as seriously as they should have been, if they were really serious about making WTC finals, they should have probably played a more attacking bowling. But they still had Chris Wokes and Gus Atkinson, who were brilliant throughout the summer. But what happened even in the second innings of England was a collapse from 56 for 2. They went to 70 for 6, and it was all because of Lahiru Kumara and Vishwa Fernando bowling those in swingers, like Akib said. He's bowling them like Vas, and Sanath Jayasuriya said that's how we wanted Vishwa Fernando to bowl. He had been little bit shorter in the first innings. Actually, he had not bowled full at all in the first test. I mean in the first test, but he was much better this time. And Lahiru Kumara, the gas man, what pace he has injected into this Sri Lankan bowling lineup. So all four pace attack working very well. Even Milan Rathnayeke contributing with some of the crucial wickets of tailenders. And Asitha Fernando, hats off, man. You proved that you are a long race horse. You bowled out your heart out in these three test matches and taken 17 wickets. So, yeah, well done, Asitha Fernando. And England then collapsed. There was a mini fight from Jamie Smith that looked to take the game away from Sri Lanka. But again, it was Vishwa Fernando who took Jamie Smith's wicket. including Root and Brooks' crucial wicket, he also took Jamie Smith's wicket. So that's how good was Vishwa Fernando. He took 5 wickets in the match. Lahiru Kumara taken 6 wickets in the match, and with these two bowlers are totally put Sri Lanka for an easy and but also a uncomfortable chase of 219 runs, which is never easy in England. Actually, I was reminded of India's tour of England in 2018, where India also had such similar targets of 200 plus, or 190 to 220 range, but they failed so many times chasing these targets. So I was reminded of that series. But kudos to Sri Lanka. They came out all guns blazing. They showed bass bowlers that they could bass ball as well. Even, doing this without any contribution from Karuna Ratne. Nissanka just blazed away. He was so confident, played through the line with good footwork, and played so many crunchy drives through the offside, straight down the ground. And even Kusal Mendis, who has had a very poor test career, also came back well in the third test to play a crucial hand. But Angelo Matthews was, with all his experience of 112 test matches, was cool and calm at the end. And Nissanka was just brilliant. The way he absolutely launched into the attack the day before, I mean, on day 3 and day 4. When I saw that Sri Lanka needed 125 runs on day 4, I thought it would take them at least 2 sessions, but Nissanka just finished it in probably half a session of first session itself, and it was just brilliant to see him bat. And even Sanath Jayasuriya had given this message to Nissanka that you need to finish this quickly. I won't scold you even if you get out, or if you score this 120 runs in 50 balls. It's okay with me. So Sanath Jayasuriya has again proved to be a great coach. He has beaten Baz in Bazball. He has beaten Gautam Gambhir in an ODI series. There was so much hype around both these coaches, Gautam Gambhir and Bazball. But Sanath Jayasuriya, the GOAT ODI player for Sri Lanka, has come up and come trumps, and he has proven that he's such a good motivator, he's such a good orator, and he's such a good coach, and he can be such an asset for Sri Lankan cricket. And even now, IPL teams will, look to back Sanath Jayasuriya, because earlier only Mahela and Sangha were considered great coaches. But now I think Sanath Jayasuriya should join that list. And I will say that, what Sanath Jayasuriya has done with this Sri Lankan team, probably a little bit inexperienced team, except for Matthews, Chandimal, and Karuna Ratne. They have managed to pull off this test match. They have managed to win that ODI series also with Hasaranga absent. What Sanath Jayasuriya has managed to done in these 3 months, it's just incredible. It's just incredible, and I don't think any other Sri Lankan coach has managed to achieve this. See, if you consider the victories of 1998, 2006, and 2014 by Sri Lankan team, they used to have some legends playing in those teams. They used to have, in 1998, you had Sanath, Arvinda, Arjuna Ranatunga, and also you used to have Muralitharan. In 2006, again, it was Muralitharan's magic that got you the test win. But 2014 also, Mahela and Sangha were there. But no one of big repute was there in 2024, and still Sanath Jayasuriya has managed to do it. Pathum Nissanka, he's growing as a batsman. If you see, he was brilliant in that ODI series versus India, also always giving them good starts. He has scored an ODI double hundred. He also, the last 100 that he scored, he was dropped from the test squad initially in 2022, but the last test 100 he had scored was also a big, very slow knock in, and he got the 100 in 250 balls against West Indies. So he has proven that he can play both kind of knocks, and probably he should be added also in the T20 team now, because he's showing that he has a stable base, very good footwork, and he can negotiate the new ball. He can go on the attack, go on the defense. He has all kinds of different games. He has the versatility of being a modern era batsman. And even he got a 50. I remember he got a 50 in India when Sri Lanka toured India. So I think all in all, it's a very positive win for Sri Lanka, and they would be disappointed they couldn't convert the first test match. I think that's where they should have won. And in second test match also, if they could have just dismissed Gus Atkinson, you'd never know what could have happened. This series could have been easily 2-1 in favor of Sri Lanka. And I just want to show you another list what uh, Pathum Nissanka has achieved. Apart from, I was just showing you this list 50s at 100 plus SR and hundreds in fourth innings in winning causes. There are so this is such an elite list. There are so few players who have done hundreds in fourth innings in England in winning cause. So this is Gordon Greenwich, Arthur Morris of Australia, Don Bradman 173 not out, Graham Smith 154 not out, and Nissanka joins this. Along with this, there is Shai Hope also and CC Hunt of West Indies. So three West Indians, two Australians, one South African, but first Sri Lankan to join this list and first from Asia to join this list. Also a highest run chase by any Asian team in fourth innings in England. So kudos to Sri Lanka. Good to see your cricket is rising. Good to see that you're back in ODI circuit. You're back in Test circuit. Let's also see if you can come back in T20. T20s, you won the Asia Cup, of course, but since then it's been downhill. But I hope you can make a comeback and also make Sanath Jayasuriya part of your cricketing administrative structure somehow. He needs to be there. So thank you guys for watching the channel. I would request each of you to please subscribe the channel. Please help us bringing more cricket to you and support us. Thank you guys. Take care. Goodbye.